everybody. Welcome back to the Current Art Podcast. I'm Yaching. It's so nice to have you back. Today we have a special episode. Well, it's not because of I'm recording it while I'm still in bed, so you can hear my morning voice. I think it's supposed to be a transitional episode. So if you're the first time listener, I suggest you go to the other episode first. And if you have been here for a while or you at least listen to one of our episode, I think this is for you. I started this podcast with Rachel, so one of my collaborators and also friends. We started because of our interest in our position in the world as immigrant, as women, as artists. So we started because we have a lot of challenges and problems in the world that we are in. We talked a lot of different topics, uh, eating pleasure. We talk about this mukbang video, which is a audiovisual online streaming about eating large quantities of food. We also talk about some fun topics like East Asian beauty standard and how and its history wise like that. We talk about some topic about afterlife. We talk about money, sex, mental health, art, different insulation, and we talk about, for example, Tracy Emin and her insulation called My Bed, which she lies on the bed for extending amount of time, like 3 days, and without getting up. One of her lowest moment in life, and kind of being presented on that bed. Oh, there's just so many good memories about um, making new episode and brainstorming together with Rachel. And when we record a podcast, she always cook for me. I mean, she always cook for me for Korean food. Um, it's really a good experience. And then she left the podcast, and I moved on to make more episodes together with other artists. And then I was also traveling a lot. I was travel in between New York and Berlin. So I had this privilege to meet a lot of different artists from all over the world. But especially the artists in Berlin and New York. Um, I think I started to shift my focus about uh, being interested in my position. I started to shift my focus to what am I really interested in this world. Because I lived in Berlin for 4 years now, or 5 years. I mean, on and off, but I'm very interested um, in the history of the city and in the history about the architecture, about our relationship with the space. And Berlin is such a unique city that has been heavily bombed uh, during the World War II. It leaves a lot of destructions, and it leaves a lot of scars that we have to think about it. We have to learn how to repair the city. We have to learn how to deal with the history and the past. So out of my interest, I was talking with filmmakers, I was talking with architects, and then to really think about we as individuals, that how do we, you know, intertwine our history and our presence with the history of the city, with the history of a bigger picture. But I'm also very interested in artists' unique story. I'm interested in how do they deal with their problem? How do they deal with the very unique moment growing up as a person who is present in the creative industry? Right now, currently, I'm in New York City, so I have a lot of opportunities to keep doing what I'm doing right now, to meet different artists, to meet different scientists, to meet different people that I'm interested in and have a conversation with them. And then the topic can really be branched out and cover many part of our life. And but as I'm doing, I'm also reflecting on what my audience wants to hear, what topics that when we talk about could be really beneficial for my listeners. This would be a me asking you for opinions and suggestions. So if you come across this episode and then you have some topics that you're really interested in, send me a message. I would love to listen to what you have to say and what you want me to cover in this podcast. And at the meantime, I want to keep brainstorming. So that's why I'm taking a little pause this week. I'm still uploading, I'm still updating my podcast, but I want to think about a really ground questions like what am I interested, what am I curious as a artist, but also what my audience potentially will be interested. I mean, I'm thinking about this all the time, but it's a question that I want to go back to the whole time. Because of that's why I started. So thank you so much for listening today. I will see you every Sunday at 10 a.m. and I'm available on YouTube Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Pocket Podcasts. So see you next week. Ciao, ciao.